Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to the Matrix Fitness Live workout. My name is Gleed, and today we have got a great workout for you. We have got 3 rounds of exercises. We normally do this now, but what we've done in this workout is we've got a lower, a core, and an upper body exercise in every single round. I don't know if you joined me on Tuesday for our workout, but my legs were feeling pretty sore after those. So what we're going to do today is we're going to focus with some of our upper body exercises. So there's going to be a lot of upper body work in today's exercises. So hopefully you're looking forward to joining in. I'm doing a little bit more strength-focused work today as well. So the first thing we're going to do is get you warmed up and get you ready. You're just going to need a little bit of space. I would encourage you to have a mat or a jumper or a towel nearby because we are going to be on the floor, so it just helps give you either a little bit more grip on some surfaces or a little bit more comfort on others as well. So to begin with, let's just start opening up the arms, starting to loosen up through your joints. Looks like it could be a nice, beautiful day out there. I don't know if any of you are into your golf, but you might be out enjoying a little bit more activity. So let's get you into a little bit more strength work here as well. Let's get into a little rotation. So just pivoting off your feet, rotating your arms around about shoulder height. Just keep yourself moving. And just start to allow your eyes just to follow in the direction that you're rotating through, just so we can get a nice rotation through the spine and get you ready. I have got some exercises later on where you're going to need a little bit more rotation. So we're just going to improve that now. Okay, now let's just take a little half squat. So just lowering your hips down towards the floor, just drawing some blood into those muscles that are going to be working, but also just helping you prepare, just so you can start to get the hip joints moving, your knees and your ankles as well. So think about lowering your hips down towards your heels, your arms come out in front of you, just to help counterbalance your weight with your back and your spine nice and straight for you. Okay, now what we're going to do is let's step back lunge. So we're going to just create a little bit more space, take a large step back down towards the floor, and just alternate through those legs. And again, I'm using my arms just to help as a counterbalance, so that way then I can control that motion that I'm having. The back knee goes down towards the floor and then steps you back up again. So you get that nice big range of movement. And again, keeping that back nice and straight throughout all these exercises as well. Okay, last one. Now what we're going to do is take into a little imaginary skipping. So imagine you've got a skipping rope. All I want you to do is just push off the floor, just so we can start to get the heart rates up a little bit more. Now when you're pushing off the floor here, not only will the heart rate come up, but we're also going to get a bit more blood pumping through the calves, and it also just fires up the body a little bit more. Now I'm going to give you some options of just doing this. One of our exercises where you could leave the floor today. So we don't need to do a lot of this in today's workout. Just give a little switch. But what we are going to do is we're going to start to think about how you can start to elevate your heart rate a little bit more. Today is going to be more focused on strength work than it is about jumping or any other sort of dynamic movement. So fairly static in terms of the workout, but you're going to feel just a different type of a workout today as well. Okay, just have a little push from side to side for me. You can keep the skipping rope going, or I'm going to just imagine that the rope has gone now. So just pushing from feet from side to side, just to help get the heart rates up. Good. Now let's just take it into our little punch combination. So hands up next to the side of your face, you jab, cross, jab, jump 180 degrees and then jab, cross, jab. And all we're looking to do here is mobilize through the shoulders, pivoting off your feet, just so we can start to connect all the body together. This will also help us, because we've got quite a bit of upper body work, start to recruit some more of the back and the shoulder muscles in preparation for being ready for the workout we've got coming up. Good. Last one's here, jab, cross, jab. Okay, loosen up a little bit. Now what we're going to do here, we're going to pivot the feet to one side, and then from here what we're going to do, drive your knees up high, then step back. Okay, so we're going to do 3 on one side, pivot the feet, take it to the opposite side. So drive your knees over to the opposite side now. Okay, pivot the feet, let's drive those knees across. So I'm starting to make this a little bit more dynamic. So I take a bigger range of movement, and this is going to be similar to the first exercise we're going to do as well. So remember, it's a lower body exercise, a core exercise, and an upper body exercise. We've got plenty of strength work, only one exercise where we leave the floor. I will do every repetition with you and help prepare you for any alternatives that you might need as well. Last one's over to the side here. Good, okay, just loosening yourself up. So I've got a mat nearby me just to grab in a second because we're going from our lunge position, which I'll show you now, into a side plank, so be prepared for that. Now the first exercise is a push-off lunge. So down into a lunge position, push off the floor, and then step. So what I want you to think about to begin with, let's get moving into this first exercise. Just start to take a big lunge back, lower the knee down towards the floor. Now, we're going to spend the whole time on this one side. Okay? So I'm going to let you know when we come up to around about halfway, and that's your opportunity to start to take it into a jump if you want to. Okay? So here it is. Let's take this into a little push off. So step back lunge, push the knee up nice and high. If you feel like you want to, just stay with that first option where you weren't pushing off the floor, that's absolutely fine. You need to make this exercise the right exercise for you, so feel free to adapt it if you need to. Okay, now coming up is going to be your side plank. Let's get you ready for that. So, grab yourself a mat. Let's get you straight down to a side plank. And again, we're all going to be doing one side. So, I've just worked my right side of leg moving. I'm going to be on my right elbow this time. Now I'll take you through the other side on our second round of these exercises. Okay, so holding that side plank, what I want you to do is hold it strong. Now, here's what's going to happen. Anytime you feel like this side plank is losing a little bit of form, what I would like you to do is actually stop, reset your position, and then go again. So if at any time at all you feel like your form's starting to go, then just stop and reset. Don't try and hold a plank which is starting to show signs of sagging in the hips and losing posture. Keep it strong. Okay, we've got just over 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, and just try to relax there for me. Okay, let's turn you onto your front. Now the next exercise we're going to do is press ups. Okay, so as I said, we're going straight into some strength work. I'm going to do the first round on my knees, and then I'm going to invite you to do the second round with me on your toes. So if you feel like you want to go straight to your toes, that's absolutely fine. Let's get moving. Weight shifts forwards, and then lower your chest down towards the floor, push yourself away from the floor. Now in terms of where your hands are going to be, what I'd like you to think about is not letting your hands go too wide. I want you to push strong into the floor, which moves your body away from it. But make sure that your elbows actually travel backwards a little bit as you go into that bend. So if you were looking directly above you, your hands would actually be almost creating an arrow in line with your head. So there'd definitely be like a triangle position there. And that allows you to recruit a little bit more of your back muscles when you're doing that press up. So this last repetition in. Good, okay. Now, that's your first 3 exercises. We've got a push-off lunge, a side plank, and a press up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work the opposite side. So, lunge down towards the floor. It can either be to drive with the knee, or you can push off. But let's get going. So here is your option, pushing off the floor. If you want to stay and just do a little bit more of a less impact option, then what we can start to do is to drive that knee up and down so you get a big range of movement, but you don't need to leave the floor. I know it's a bit early to jumping around, so we don't have to do that today. Okay, here is the option if you'd like to though. I want you just to pick your workout and your level of intensity. So as the back knee goes down towards the floor, you then drive the knee up high again. So it's a big range of movement. Got 10 seconds to go. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go back into that side plank in 5. Drive knee high, last repetition. Good, okay, down into a side plank. And I'm just making sure that I'm going down with my left elbow now. Making sure you've done both sides. Feet stacked upon each other. We're going to hold up that really good plank. If at any time you get tired, bring it back down to the floor. Much more focused on strength today. Bring yourself up and hold high. Reaching that fist away from the elbow on the floor. Now you will start to feel like your heart rate's come down, and that's absolutely fine. Today isn't necessarily about a high heart rate, it's about a deep muscle movement. Now from these side planks, we will go into our press up. So again, that press up can be on your knees or your feet. You pick the intensity. Remember, in this side plank, if you start to feel like your hips start to sag down, push them back up high. If you need to stop and reset, you've got just over 5 seconds to go. I hope you can hang in there a little bit longer. And relax there. Okay, so press ups is your next exercise. The options are on your knees and bring your elbows backwards, or do it on your toes, but it's still the same body position as well. You pick the intensity. I'll start off on my toes. I'll show you the knee options as well. Let's get moving. Okay, so keep pushing it into the floor. Here's the options on the knees if you need it. As long as you're doing a good repetition, if you need to take a little breather and stop at the top, that's absolutely fine. I want you to be in control. I want you to focus on the strength here. You've got to be determined to keep that depth so that the hips and the shoulders both move down. Sometimes it's better to work slow than these. Last 5 seconds, let's do this last one. And relax there. Okay, excellent work. Now, we've got a bit of a challenging next exercise. It's a single leg squat. Let me show you how we're going to do this. What we're going to do is put one foot on the floor and one heel on the floor. Hopefully you can see this even though I'm on a black mat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my hip down towards the floor. So it's a single leg squat, and I'm going to work slowly. Now the foot that's in front of me is being used to help balance and control. So I want you to make sure that it is your hips that are lowering down. Sometimes the tendency is to start to lean forwards. But I want you to think about moving like an an elevator, so you're straight up and down. What we don't want to see happening too much is you kind of leaning forwards and then come back up. That would be an escalator approach. So elevator, straight up, straight back down. So you're working that single leg. It's going to start to burn, especially if you can start to work in depth here. So try and get yourself down low. Just using that foot to help keep a little bit of balance and push yourself off. Okay, shake it out. Let's take it down to the floor. On the second round of this second loop, then what we're going to do is we'll do the opposite leg. So here's your next exercise. Bring yourself up so your back is still fairly straight. Reach to touch the heels back to the center, over to the opposite side. Now every single time you reach towards your heels, just take a second just to make sure that your spine comes back into realignment as well. So you're just reaching to touch the heels, but making sure as you pass the center, you just start to realign your spine slightly. Okay, so this is a heel touch, side bend. The goal is to try and keep the shoulder blades off the floor, but your chin and your chest lifted up towards the ceiling. We don't want to use too much momentum here. And if you find that your neck starts to feel tired because of the weight of your head, you can always support the weight of the head as well. Okay, that's how we're going to relax in that movement there. Okay, next exercise is a shoulder press up. So this one, we're going to create a bit of an A-frame. So there's an apex at the top. And then from this position, I want you to lower your head in between your hands and then push your hands against the floor. And you can adjust your foot position and your hand position any time that feels comfortable for you. So it's about the depth and the range that you move to. You need to take your hands a little bit wider. That's absolutely fine. Find a position where you feel comfortable and then lean yourself forward by bending at the elbows and then work your arms, your triceps and your shoulders to help push you back out. So again, this is a great upper body exercise for developing some strength. Good work. Okay, relax it there. Let's bring you back up to the standing position. We're going to do that single leg squat on the opposite leg this time. So I'll turn sideways for you. Foot kicks out just in front of you. So this time, remember that straight spine movement. Let's start you showing this movement. I'll turn sideways slightly so hopefully you can see. It's about the hips lowering down, not your chest leaning forwards. Let's get moving on here. So that foot out in front of you is literally just there, just to create a little bit of balance. But the work has got to be done. For me, it's going to be for this left leg. So the leg that you can see me tapping, this leg is the focus. It's the one underneath the hips. The one that's out in front is just there to help keep control and balance. Remember, the depth is the goal here. So lower your hips down towards your heels and be strong as you push yourself back up. Good. You've got just 5 seconds to go. So probably about 2 more repetitions. Keep the time. Don't worry about rushing the movement. Okay, shake it out. Let's take it down to the floor for those heel touch side bends. So flatten out through the spine. Lift the chin and chest up off the floor. Reach to touch the heels on each side of the body. But same, keep control, realign your spine as you come back through the center, and then reach over to the opposite side. So if you feel the weight of your head starts to feel heavy and there's a strain on your neck, you can just support your head if you need to. And when I mean support it, it means just taking a little bit of weight in your hands, not pulling your head forwards, where you start to put more strain on the neck as well. So you've got options here. Reaching towards the heel, bending from the side, but still trying to keep your spine straight. It's about lateral flexion here, so leaning from one side to the other. After these, we go back to your shoulder press-ups. So again, a little bit more strength work. And relax there. Good. Okay, let's get ready for those shoulder press-ups. Same thing again, hands go down onto the floor. Let's create that apex, that A-frame position. Once you've got your hips up high and your head is inverted, then from here, bending up your arms, push away from the floor. Now when you're doing this movement, make sure the work is coming through the shoulders and through the elbows. They're the joints that are going to be working the muscles. The strong push movement, so really push your hands through the floor to help get you out of that position. Keep depth here, so try to keep your head down towards the floor, push yourself back out to that position, keep it strong. Good, last 10 seconds, so probably a couple more. And one more, we've got time, yeah, always time. Excellent, okay, good. Relax with the arms there, give them a little shake out. Now the next exercise is a lateral lunge switch. So let me show you this one. We're going to go down into this position, foot comes out to the side, and we're going to push off the floor over from one side to the other. Now I've got a mat here, so my target is to try and get my foot from one end of the mat to the other, but trying to stay in this low athletic position. Now what I can do is I can start to drive my arms just to create a little bit more space. Now this is similar to what we've done before in a speed skater, but for that one we actually leave the floor. So I want you to try and stay low. And because of those single leg squats that we did earlier, and those push-off lunges, you're hopefully going to start to feel a little bit of burning in the legs, where they have to work on a bit of endurance to keep moving. So keep this deep, low position. Last 10 seconds to go. So your heart rate will go up a little bit without even having to leave the floor. So just tap the foot out, try and keep that range, and relax there. Let's take it down to the floor. Next exercise is the diagonal runner. So again, we've done the lower, now we go upper. Now we go quarter before we go upper. So reaching across the body, so the elbow comes towards the opposite knee. So diagonal runner. Now, you have got an option of keeping the feet off the floor and extending the leg out. So this is an option, or if you'd like to, you can rest your heels down onto the floor of each repetition as well. So I'm going to give you the progressions again. Here is your option, which is a little bit harder. You just get a little bit more rest and a few more reps in. Keep moving, keep reaching your elbow. Again, you're supporting the back of your head. And relax there. Okay, next exercise is a T press-up. So down to that strong press-up position again, but this time we're going to open up the arms into a big T. I'll show you the first repetition. Again, it can be done on the knees, then come up into that big T press position, back down towards the floor. So I'll do it with you on the knees for the first round, and then as we go through the exercises again, I'll go up onto the toes so you can follow me in the options there as well. So this one is not only about the strength, but also the mobility as you start to open up and go into a strong plank position. Good. Strong press-up position, push away from the floor, then come up into that big T position. And relax there. Okay, let's take those exercises again. So the lateral lunge switch, athletic position in the middle. From one foot over to the side of the mat, I'm going to go over to the opposite side. Big dynamic movement if you can, and see if we can get the heart rates up a little bit more. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. Move from one side to the other. So you're reaching the foot out as wide as you can. Now, if you find that you haven't got a mat and you just need a couple of markers, have a little look at something just in front of you and see if you can imagine that as a marker to give you direction to move your foot from one side to the other. Keep low if you can. I want those legs to experience what it's like to work with a bit of endurance here. Especially after those single leg squats, we want them to stay low and stay working hard. Big range of movement, you've got just over 10 seconds to go, so your heart rate's going to go up a little bit more. Then we'll take you from this lower body exercise down to your core and finish off with the upper body. Relax there, let's take you down to the floor again then. So this is going to be our diagonal runner. Remember the options, here they are. Knee to elbow and back down each time, or you start to stay upwards and you're in a running position where your legs do more repetitions and they also experience more range. Let's get you moving. So you pick the intensity you want to work with. Big range of movement, extend the leg away, reach your elbow towards your knee. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep that intensity up. Just over 10 seconds left of work. And that'll be the end of the core exercises with one upper body to come. And then we've got some nice stretches for you. And relax there. Okay, so you over onto your front. We've got that T press up position. So it's a press up and then into a side plank combination. Let me show you what it looks like on the toes. Full press up and then up into that T position. Here's your option if you need it to go on your knees. It looks like this. Come up onto your toes if you can into that side plank, and then back down and over the opposite side. Let's get you moving. Full one. It looks like this. Full press up. Then up into that T position, and then over to the opposite side. So that's your big range of movement if you need it. Here's the knee option. Still coming up onto your feet if you can, for that side plank position. Just over 10 seconds left to go. Keep that strength coming in. We did warn you that there's going to be a fair amount of upper body pushing movements here. And relax there, good work. Okay, just loosen up the arms. We're going to keep you in a kneeling position, however it feels free to stand if you want to. Hands going to come behind you. Now, after all that upper body work, we're going to just hold a few upper body exercises here to stretch through. So bring your hands together, lift your chin and chest up tall. Good. Now, from here, reach one hand up and give me a side bend here. Now, as that starts to feel like a long stretch to the side of the body, feel free to grab the arm and see if you can reach a little bit higher, reach over a little bit further. Good. And then we bring it over to the opposite side. So again, arm reaches up, get that stretch all the way down through the side. For more of a stretch, just start to feel like you can just overstretch it a little. It'll work in a comfortable range though. Never be painful. Good. Bring yourself back to the centre. Now, bring those hands together, push them out in front of you. What I want you to do is bring your chin towards your chest and think about rounding your elbows outwards so it creates a big ball. Just give that a little shake. Loosen up to the body a little bit. Let's take you through some lower body exercises. Legs go wide, transfer your weight over to one side. So what we're looking for here is a stretch with the inner thigh here. So you can support yourself onto that bent knee. Just feeling that stretch down the inner thigh. We're going to transition this over towards the opposite side. You can see both my feet are facing forwards. YouTube on is in this one. So you're reaching over towards the sides. Come back to the centre, shake the legs out a little bit. You definitely need to do a quadricep stretch. So find something to hold on to if you need to. Take one foot into the palm of your hand, have a slight bend in the standing foot, and just lengthen up through the spine. Think about pushing your foot into the palm of your hand. Think about extending through the hips. You get a nice deep stretch here. Give it a little shake and we'll swap it over. Slight bend in the standing foot, straighten through the spine, push the foot into the palm of your hand. Excellent. Give that a little shake as well. Just loosen yourself up. Okay, and just start to pivot. After doing a lot of strength work, just want to make sure that your upper spine gets a nice little bit of mobility into it again. And just loosen yourself up. Brilliant, thank you very much for joining me. This workout has been a very strength-focused one, so hopefully your heart rate isn't too high, but it has raised and fallen in different areas. So thank you very much for joining me again. I'll see you, if you are checking out the exercises now to do them later on. We'll be back at 12 o'clock and 5 o'clock this evening for our live workout, and if not, we'll see you next week. Thanks everybody, take care, see you soon.